Additional schemes. Unauthorized transactions. This one is crude but effective. The employee somehow is allowed access to the details of your credit or debit card. Then, unauthorized charges begin to appear. These might be hidden by a ghost vendor or family vendor or another business the employee owns. The charges might appear to be justified, perhaps $100 charged by Bill's Donut Shop on the same day you have a company meeting. But they are fraudulent. It's easy to detect and remedy. Fake or copied receipts. In this scheme, the employee simply takes advantage of the company reimbursement program, credit card, or company checks by buying what they want and forging the receipt. Electronic truncation and/or ACH conversion. This one is a mix of the crude and the sophisticated. Really, it's just taking checks from you and cashing them. But rather than going to a bank where the physical check can be reviewed again as evidence, the employer uses an electronic truncation program. These programs allow people to convert checks into electronic withdrawals from your account. Many banks will not allow any data except the date of transaction, check number, and amount to be recovered from a truncation, meaning no trail back to the employee will exist. It is very dangerous because your bank will not reveal the payee. It can usually be prevented if you just keep your checks locked and safe. ACH conversion is identical to electronic truncation, except you'll be able to access the original check unless it was destroyed. Online banking using blended accounts. In this scheme, the employee has access to your online banking system for some reason. The employee opens up an account with a similar name as one of the typical payees on your system, such as a vendor. Or perhaps it's just the employee name. The employee makes transfers and the accounts blend in when being reviewed. The reviewing party assumes it is just a typo. The best way to fight this is to make sure only the people who have authority to sign the checks can be in the online banking portal. Each of those should have a unique account and user ID as well as password. People who cannot sign should be given read-only access. Payroll fraud. Here, the employee in charge of payroll simply adds a fake employee and steals the checks. Or they modify an accomplice's sick time or vacation time and pocket the difference with the accomplice. Or they modify their own payroll in this way. Lastly, a dishonest employee could fail to delete a terminated employee and steal their checks that way. Stealing with an accomplice. Stealing inventory can be accomplished with an accomplice. If the employee is in charge of watching for shoplifters, they can allow their friends to steal. Or they can steal the inventory and drop it off to an accomplice who carries it out the front door. In some cases, the stolen inventory can be converted to cash with a refund or to a gift card with store credit. Manual reconciliation papers. In this scheme, the employee in charge of reconciling the company accounts with the actual bank accounts fails to use the software designated for this process to print the report. He or she manually prepares the papers via another software or processor in order to hide the fact they are taking funds directly from the account. You'll quickly detect this scheme if you audit reconciliations or ask for a year's worth of reconciliations to be printed from the system. Overcharging. Very crude. Just overcharging customers and pocketing the difference. Check adjustments. This strategy is used when a business writes a manual check. The employee adjusts the amount of the check or goes back and reprints the check. With the increased amount, they cash the check, pay for the purchasing request with cash, and pocket the difference. Fake returns. This is self-explanatory. It's simply taking cash out of the register or otherwise stealing funds and masking it with a fake return. Not processing a sale. Perhaps the most common tactic, taking proceeds from a sale and not listing it. Forged checks. Forging checks. When the bank images post to your system, the employee attempts to delete the saved images.